Welcome to this week's edition of Pirate Talk. I'm David Griffin alongside Randy Jackson, as well as joining us today is Brett Rattan, the senior kicker. And Coach Jackson, first of all, congratulations on a big win against Wiley East.
Thanks so much, David. It was everybody got their money's worth, that's for sure. I mean, we knew coming in it was going to be a great, close game, probably two great teams, but I sure didn't know it was going to come down to the wire exactly like that. It was certainly a stressful game, but if you're going to make a run in the playoffs, a lot of times you have to win a close one like that, and I'm glad we came through.
Talk about the emotion and really kind of pandemonium. It seems like every round you don't think it can get any better, but certainly was quite the game, quite the atmosphere on the field when that final pass hit the ground.
But yeah, our first two wins, we were pretty comfortable at the end. It really wasn't in doubt at the end. And when you get a bunch of kids, a bunch of seniors who've just worked for years, and it comes down to the final play, then it is pretty emotional. And I really think, though, we gained more momentum from a late win like that than you do a blowout. So, but again, in Texas high school football playoffs, I mean, it just didn't get any better than it did last Friday.
Absolutely. Talk me through a couple of the big plays in this particular game.
Okay. We got some normal kids that have been on here for a while now. Our first play early in the game was Tanner Ramsey on a scramble, and does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield and finding Rodney Douglas for a 46-yard touchdown. And then we've shown these clips before, but Pat Brackens blocks another punt. I think it's his fourth or fifth punt block of the year, which is just outstanding. Raphael Gaines, I really think all four DBs just did such a great job on their receivers. But Raphael Gaines comes over the top here and breaks up a pass play, real physical like he always is.
Right, but the biggest play would undoubtedly be the field goal by Brett Rattan. And so, Brett, joining us now, tell me a little bit, Brett, about what goes through your mind every day or every game when you hear, all right, let's kick it, let's get the field goal out there.
Every pregame, Coach Holsworth comes up to me and talks to me 80% middle. And, I just get focused, and I've been doing this since 6th grade. So every year I get better and better, and I just go out there and it's another kick.
So on this particular play, the game-winning field goal, kind of talk us through the play and what was going through your mind from the time the referee put the ball down and marked for play.
I took my steps back in like a regular kick, and I was back there, and I was like, wow, it's the winning kick, and I just kicked it as best as I could, and it went through.
You knew it was going through the moment you hit it?
Yes, sir.
And that's always a great feeling.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So as a senior, what is it that you want to communicate to some of these younger guys as you move now into the fourth round of the playoffs?
It's important to stay focused on the prize, the state, and every week and every game, and just keep your mind on that game of that week.
So this week, Coach, a big test. Of course, anytime you get to the Final Eight, there's going to be good football teams. Lancaster, the number one team in the area, as well as one of the top 10 teams in the state. Some people might even say the top team in the state with only one loss. What is it that we can expect to see, maybe from DeMarcus Ayers and Nick Harvey, both D1 football players on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, this is our third year to play DeMarcus Ayers. He was at Terrell 2 years ago and been at Lancaster 2 years, and he's an A&M commit, and he is a stud. He's got 1,400 yards passing and 1,100 yards rushing. So he's a dual threat kind of guy. Nick Harvey's a receiver, and I think he's got about 1,000 yards, somewhere 1,100 yards receiving. Nick Harvey, they'll put him at quarterback, and he'll throw it to DeMarcus Ayers. So they kind of interchangeable kind of guys. They've got a big defensive end, tight end, but he'll also play tight end. But for the most part, they're good up front. We got to know who those two kids are.
As good as their offense is, when you take a look at their defense, they haven't given up big numbers like you guys have been putting up the last few weeks. So what can we expect to see from Deshaun Hall, who you mentioned a moment ago, the Washington commit, and Denzel Lewis, the number 42 linebacker?
Well, Hall is definitely a kid that we think will be a big part of their game plan. I mean, he's just a big, long kid, and we think he'll probably be put where he can help on some of our perimeter stuff. We'll have to know where he is. He bats down passes. Their linebacking core is very good. They've got we just compare them to a West Mesquite kind of team athletically, and so they're giving up 12 points a game in a really tough district. So we don't feel like it'll probably be a 52 to 49 kind of game. It'll probably be something a little more
Like it was the last
reasonable.
2 years.
Yeah. I mean, in 2010 we beat them 28-24, and then last year they beat us 20-19, and so that's probably the kind of game we're looking at. But we got to win that kind of game too. Our defense has come through all year, and they'll have to step up this.
And so you are familiar with them, and the kids are familiar with them.
Yes, sir. Our kids played them JV freshmen, and I think that's an advantage too, probably for both teams. But like I say, we've been in the district with them, so there's not a fear of the unknown there. We're used to Lancaster, and they're used to Poteet, and I think it's kind of neat. We're playing in the 4th round.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Coach, for
Thank
taking
you.
the time to visit with us. Brett, thank you so very much for joining us.
Yes, sir.
And thank each of you for joining us each week here on Pirate Talk. I'm David Griffin signing off. Thanks again to our sponsor, Community Life Church, Matt Kane, for all of his work, and we'll see you next week.